What's going on, guys? I just got done going live, and of course this video will be uploaded a day or so after my live video. But if you haven't watched it and you have wondered why I have pushed my shirts, and even why a guy like me would have shirts or be making shirts or anything like that, which apparently that is a hot topic amongst the people who watch my videos, go check out at least the first 5 or 6 minutes of my live video. I'm going to try to get everything spelled out right there live, and why in the first 5 or 6 minutes. My live videos tend to be lengthy, and it's up to you whether you want to stay and watch the whole thing or not. I get to answering questions and they usually get drug out, so that's up to you. But in this video, we're going to talk about why Chief and Sean, mainly those two, doesn't participate in a lot of the extra Street Outlaws stuff, No Prep Kings, why the Chief and Sean show disappeared and they don't have no desire to bring it back, why they took a hiatus from the show for a little while, just why the show has changed so much and not for a good reason. And if you are interested in the shirts, first link below, and let's talk about why Chief and Sean are bringing Street Outlaws down and gonna end up getting the show took completely off the air. Let's kick it off right here. To start this video, I want to backtrack, 10 seasons, and Big Chief, Sean, go back and watch some of them. The type of person that they was then was the everyday guy. Yeah, they had a lot of money tied up in his cars. Sean was a lineman. Chief owned, the heating and air, amongst with, according to him, 20-something different jobs he had before he decided he didn't want to work anymore. But, everyday guys. They started not liking how the show portrayed them, and, the things that the show was emphasizing on and non-emphasizing on. So they come up with the Chief and Sean Show, a podcast where, they, every Tuesday, they laid out everything that the show didn't show and the stuff they wanted you to know that the show didn't show, how something really went down, the races you didn't get to see, and things like that. And it was a hit. I loved it. They just kind of kept pushing the envelope on things they were saying, and the podcast was getting so big that it was actually getting bigger than the show, or as big as the show. And, if it was kind of a competition, although they wasn't making any money off of the podcast, they're giving away so much information there and showing who they really are so much that, people's not liking it, and it just turned into be more of a problem to keep it going than it was worth. They shut it down, and, it is what it is. But the reason I say all that is there's so many things that line up about that same time. That's when, Sean and Chief disappeared from the show for, 3 or 4 episodes. They dropped way down. They just didn't show up, didn't show them at the garage working on nothing. That's when, Asian, Ryan, Chuck, several of them started doing the intro. Everything, the whole feeling, the whole aura of the show just changed, and it wasn't a change for the good. A lot of people didn't like it. A lot of people quit watching because of it. And there became some new, heroes of the show. Ryan stepped up. Chuck tried to step up after he, his head's really too big for what it is. He's not as big as he wants to be or thinks he is, but, his car come around and he got bigger. No Prep King started, and JJ started, and Chief and Sean have made no telling how much. They say they don't make much money from that show, and I know they have a lot of sponsors, but look at the things that they have acquired since then. They are not even close to the people that we fell in love with when the show started in like 2012, 13. It is not even the same people. There's not near as many people who like Chief like they used to, and Sean's the same way. They have kind of fell off mainstream because of their attitude toward all of this, and they have to see it, but they have created this badass persona, so to speak, and it's almost like they don't want to change it. It's like it's become a hassle to them. To start with, they were so excited that you know, they was getting to do what they wanted to do and getting paid for it. It was a, you know, awesome thing. I mean, who wouldn't, you know, love it? Who wouldn't want to do it? And now it's just like, yeah, you know, I'm Big Chief, you know, whatever I say go, you know, it's just the cockiness and the, you know, I don't care, we'll do it my way or no way type thing has brought the show down so far that I really, truly don't think it can ever come back from it. You know, the title of this video may be a little controversial, but, you know, I don't think that they will ever fully recoup their losses from, you know, things that they have already done. The show is already on such a, you know, downhill decline that I really don't know if it can ever be brought back full circle to the way it was. The people is set in their ways. You know, so many things has changed. The cars are so far from the realm of anything you would ever see on the road anymore that they're never going to go back. There is a few ways that, you know, the show could, you know, come back to something we could relate to, but that's also where JJ falls in. JJ has fell into a category that a lot of us can relate to, and they're not going to make the cars slower. They're not going to build new cars on the 405. So where do they go from here? What do they do to bring us back as loyal, you know, every Monday night, going to watch it? You know, even myself, you know, I find myself like, you know, what's happened? You know, I don't know. There's so many people that have, you know, built a lot of things around this, and they have made so many companies huge and brought, you know, the average guy back to his roots as far as things they used to do, you know, as far as street racing and drag racing, and, you know, made racing a sport that everyone can relate to. I have said it several times, there is ways to bring the show back. I really, truly don't believe they will ever do it. They're not going to take the cars they have now and make them slower, and No Prep Kings is one reason because of that. The rules for No Prep is so vague that it's different promoters and different, you know, event hosts and, you know, track owners and all that have their different rules that, you know, benefit their local people or their local guy or their favorite guy, and says screw the rest of them. And that's really how I feel it has evolved into what it is now. I mean, that is how it is. And, you know, any car on that top 10 list, not one of them, 99% of the people that'll watch this video right here can relate to, own, operate, you know, have owned, will own, you know, anything like that. 99% of the people will never achieve what they have got somebody else to pay for as far as that car goes. That's just the facts. That is the truth. And jealousy is so strong amongst just people's human nature that they can't do anything about it. You know, they want to watch it. They want, you know, everybody has their favorite person on the show. You know, everybody wants this guy or that guy. You know, I could start it, you know, say top 12, 13 people that, you know, kind of rotate throughout the show. You know, I could start at one and name all the way to the bottom on who my favorite was. You know, but the reality is the show has went so far that it can't be reeled back in to what the average person can relate to, likes, and wants to see. And, you know, that's just the truth. That is how it is, and, you know, that's facts. I wished it wasn't that way. I do feel like the show has run its course. I mean, there isn't much more ways that the cars can get any faster, or we can see something that we haven't already seen. There's already they are already faster than, you know, most of the world, so there isn't that many cities that can come and, you know, race with them and run with them. You know, especially in the 405 on that street. You know, they have tunes for that street. They have a tune for every percent of humidity, every degree, every, you know, the track degree, you know, every little bitty variable on that road where they're racing, they have a tune for it. You take those guys out somewhere else, and I guarantee you that the outcome won't be the same, or if, the outcome you see on television won't be the same, because if they show 6 races on the show, there was probably 10 that went down, and they want the 405 to be the good guys. They want them to have an overall win. And, there's so many things that have already been proven through social media that didn't happen, or, lies, so to speak, that they've told, that comes out on social media, that they can't say stuff like that anymore because they get called out instantly. My whole point of this video is, with my following right now, and that's around 40,000 people, there's several guys who do what I do, and I'm pretty sure my channel is the biggest. And I'm not saying that as a bragging standpoint. I'm just saying it as my channel has to impact someone who has some sort of say, some sort of pull, or at least can give an idea on how to bring the show back. And bring it back to the roots is a way to bring the show back around and get the views back up there, get the ratings back up there, and that sort of thing. You will see, the cast post the ratings for the first night when a new season airs. Well, of course it's going to, be bigger than the rest of the season. That's the one they want you to know about. But, the random episodes, the list races that happen over and over, and the same guy race the same guy, race the same guy, race the same guy, is killing the show. Get some out-of-town people. Get some people that hadn't raced before. One of the best things that they done was when they done the nationwide call-out, and they took groups of people. New York or up north has a, fast group. California has down south, Texas. All of those guys have fast cars. A lot of these no-prep guys can get on the street. They can run, I could sit right here and name probably 60 cars that can run in that caliber, and I wouldn't mind seeing them race the same groups more than once in a season. Race them in Oklahoma and go race them somewhere else. See if it's the same outcome. Do something, get the ratings back up, and get us a show that we want to see again. And that is how to fix the problem that has happened with Street Outlaws. I know this video probably turned into a rant, and a lot of this stuff may be a little bit repetitive, but I haven't made a video where I just laid it out, A to Z, and told you, kind of how it happened, how it started, where it went down, and where they're at now. After the lawsuit with Chief and Sean show, and when they went off the air, ratings went down, and they didn't care. And they have made enough money that they don't care. If you notice, everybody else kind of rolled into this No Prep Kings, and No Prep Kings is kind of taking fans away from the other show, or it could be putting fans on the other show. I don't know, but I know that they can't race each other for 10 episodes and keep people interested. Bring someone from out of town to fix the show. That's the only way it's going to be fixed, and that is facts, 100%. I'm going to end this rant right here. Like I said, if you haven't watched the live feed that will be done on Sunday night, go back and watch it, and at least the first 5-10 minutes of it, and maybe that will help you on your questions as far as the shirts goes. That's the best thing that I can tell you. Email address along with my P.O. box is on the screen right now. Remember that as far as my P.O. box goes, I do giveaways from time to time on things that I receive from my P.O. box. So if you want to send me something to P.O. box, I don't care what it is, a letter, whatever. If you want to send something, send it, be entered to win the $50. I'm not asking you to go spend down a bunch of money and send it to me or nothing like that, but just send me something from the heart, and I guarantee you, the guy who won the last one made me something, and my viewers picked it over stuff that had been bought. So there you go. Email address, P.O. box, anything you want me to know, say, do, or hear, promote, whatever, send it to the email address. If you want to be entered for the Ride of the Week, send some high quality pictures or a video that is yours, you have 100% permission to use, and send a link to that or the high quality pictures along with your mailing address and things down to the car to be considered for Ride of the Week. Thanks very much for watching. Godspeed. I will see you in the next video.